Hello everyone, welcome to Slapendipity, Hobos of Happy Slappy Town, episode 74. My name is Devin, but you can call me Gibby, and I'm here with Eric, who you can call Eric.
Hello.
Now, a couple episodes ago, quite a while ago, I might say, we talked about our vacation in Japan. We talked about going to arcades, we talked about the cultural exchange of living over there. Do you recall this, Eric? Do you recall this audience?
I recall it being almost the episode before this. Almost.
We discussed one of my personal takeaways from being in Japan.
And what
and
was
that
that?
was, it was an important discovery. An important discovery on my behalf. Something that changed me as a person.
As a person.
As a person. A lot of things changed me as a person, because I make YouTube video essays about absurd things. It's called The Absurd. It's on my main channel, Gibby's Good Idea, Bad Idea. And I started planning an episode based on something that we found in Japan.
Okay.
While in Japan, while playing those crane games and winning a bunch of anime waifu figurines, and just walking around and seeing, like, posters and pop-up shops for, like, different important and famous animes and mangas and things like that, I discovered, by which I mean you told me about,
I did tell you.
This series that we kept running into, that I saw posters for everywhere, that I won a toy for. I'm like, what is this? It was this girl, and she looked very, very confident, very, I don't know what the word I should say is. Very serious.
Stick with confident.
Let's stick with confident. All the other anime waifus, they're like giving you bedroom eyes, but this girl's just like standing there fully clothed, like I am a character from a show that you don't watch. Even like Demon Slayer or like Naruto figurines are like more seductive than like this one was. And so you asked me, you're like, Devin, which of the waifus is your favorite? And I said that one because she's confident and fully clothed.
Wow.
And you said, oh, she's from a horse girl anime. And I said, oh, even better. You know, I'm sitting here thinking like, you know, like country girl, Montana, riding horses.
Take me home.
Maybe horse tamers. Maybe she's like a jockey. Maybe she like rides the horses. So for the next week, we would just like sort of offhand mention this anime because we saw another figurine in one of the other arcade machines. And you were like, oh, it's the other horse girl. I'm like, yeah. Oh my god, I should get like the whole set. And we're walking down the street. Walking down the street and see a movie poster. And you point and you go, Devin, it's the horse girls you like. And I look at the movie poster. And I discover that these girls have tails.
And horse ears.
Why do they have tails, Eric?
They're horse girls.
Because they're horse girls. For a week, when you said horse girls, I thought you meant farmer girl who has a horse. You meant they are half girl, half horse. They have horse ears and horse tails, and they run really fast.
Like a centaur, but without the horse half on display.
Yeah, like an anime cat girl or a monster girl, but they're half horse.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, oh no. I'm disgusted with myself. I'm like, that's not endearing. Now they're just like weird abominations.
No, they're horse girls.
And you're like, yeah, they're abominations. And you're like, yeah, they're it's an anime where like they're horses.
And they run and they race.
And they run and they race. It's a sports anime about like, you know, running, but then they're also horses. And I Google it, and it's called, I mean, I think it's called Pretty Derby, but it's called something in Japanese I can't pronounce. What's it called?
Uma Musume.
Uma Musume Pretty Derby. And if you look it up, Wikipedia will tell you that the show is about real racehorses. Real world racehorses. Named Special Week and Rice Shower. And other horse names.
Yep.
That have been reincarnated as teenage high school horse girls in this anime reality. Yes. So it's not just that they're horse girls. It's that they're horse girls based on real-world racehorses.
From across the world.
Yeah, there's like American ones and Japanese
There's
ones.
French ones, yeah.
And I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever heard in my entire life. Because some poor racehorse out there who won like the Triple Crown in the 70s or whatever is now a blonde anime girl who, like, all these Japanese guys are gooning over, but, like, it's a real horse. Like, they're real horses. They're real horses, Eric.
Yeah.
And so this became my thing for the entire month we were in Japan. I needed to absorb everything. It was like one of the defining features of the vacation. I needed to absorb everything about these horses so that when I came home, I could make a, like an absurd video about it. I want to engross myself in the culture. I did not watch the anime yet. Or, I'm sorry, at the time we were there, I was not watching the anime.
No.
But I was like, I need to understand. I need to, like, stare. It's like a puzzle to solve. Staring at the box like, why are you a real horse? Why? So then we get home. And a new Five Nights at Freddy's game comes out, and so I start making videos about that. I put a lot of other stuff in my life on hold. I gained 10 pounds because I don't leave my computer for 3 weeks. And that's just like my life. So horse girl thing, put on the back burner. I get some time to make an absurds video, and I make it about Superman because the movie's coming out. But I know that Horse Girls is going to be my next one. I have the whole video planned. It's going to be me saying, guys, basically telling a story I just told. Guys, there's real horses. And then I would, like, review the anime. But, like, the main thing would just be like, guys, there's a show and a game where real horses are anime girls.
Whoa.
Do you want to tell the fine folks what happened about a week and a half ago?
I think at this point it's been 2 weeks. I mean, probably by the time you listen to it, 3 weeks. The Japanese exclusive mobile game got its worldwide launch. So now everyone can play it. Regardless of your region.
Immediately after the launch of this game in America, it became incredibly popular. And the reason why it trended, it literally, like, the first day it came, I actually, when I was in Japan, I signed up for it to pre-install on my phone the day it came out so I could play it. So I got the notification that morning. I'm like, oh, that game's here. That game's, like, on my phone now. And I played it, and I was like, this is stupid. That night, trending on Twitter was just information about the series. Because all these people all over the country were like, wait a minute, there's a show/game about horses, but they're girls? They're, like, the girls are real horses?
But
everyone was freaking out about
girls.
it. Like, what a premise. Like, what an insane, crazy, absurd premise that is. I got people all over my Twitter timeline tweeting about it. One of my friends, Spurt, who I've made a video about before, like, is just, like, nonstop tweeting about these horse girls. And I'm sitting there, my empire in shambles.
Yeah.
If I had made a video a month ago saying, guys, horse girls, and then it got popular, I would have been able to... I would have been king of the weird horse stuff. Or at the very least... you had
to make a video about Superman.
About Superman. At the very least, I would have been able... Like, that video would have been done, and then maybe I could make, like, a follow-up about, like, the cultural movement about the horses.
Sure.
But now, it's not just like, oh, I'm not going to get as many views because it's popular. Or, oh, I want to be a hipster because I knew about horses before they were cool. No, it's not. That's not what I'm upset about. I'm upset that I can't make that video I wanted to make because the video was literally just going to be their real horses. It was just going to be called Their Real Horses. And now I can't do that because everyone already knows that.
Wow.
I have to watch the show. Like, I need to, like, research it or whatever now. It needs to be, like, a real video. It can't just be Their Real Horses.
You could have made a 10-minute video, They're Real Horses, and you said nay.
I'm going to strangle you.
Thank you.
The next. So, because the show was getting popular, Eric, who's a little more, like, of a anime fan weeb than me, also downloaded the game. He likes it more than I do. I, like, didn't care. I played it for a few hours, uninstalled, boring. He also started watching the show.
I did.
He finished, like, all 3 seasons or whatever within, like, a few days.
This is true.
And is now, like, dropping, like
horse
his reactions, and then his lore, and then a horse facts in our group chat.
Yep.
He's like, did you know that this horse is blah, blah, blah? Or did you know that if, because in the show, all the horse girls are girls, but in real life, some of them are male. So it's like, if they're wearing an earring on their left ear, or a tag on their left ear in the show, it means that they're male in real life. And I'm sitting here, my empire is no longer in crumbles at my feet. My empire is is on fire, physically burning me and paining me, as I have to receive updates from Eric as he's telling me information about my obsession. I yapped about this for a month. It was
yours.
mine. It was always mine. And now Eric knows more about it than me.
Done something.
I was invested in the concept from the get-go. I was a true fan. You only jumped on the bandwagon when it became excitable, when it became something to talk about, when other people cared. You're like, oh, people are talking about this. Maybe I should know about it. Whereas I wanted to know from the start. Just the simple sentence, "They're real horses," was enough for me to want to know everything about them.
Devin, this is a real betrayal on
your
our
relationship. You're betrayaling me.
No, because I know what you're going to say.
You're about to say
these horse girls are a symbol of our time here. I got horses in Japan because, haha, Devin has a full set of horse girls. I'll get my own horse girl to be part of our... to solidify this weird relationship experience symbol that we're having. And then I got a real horse plush to double solidify it. I don't want to hear it from you. And I told you when we get back to America or something, we should really watch the show. And you were like, yeah, I guess that would be fun. I don't want to hear it. I was with you.
This feels like if I'm talking to you and if I nudge you and I point across the bar and I'm like, Eric, that girl's really pretty, isn't she? And you go, yeah, she is. And then for the next month, I'm like, Eric, I need to, Tiffany, like, I need to find her. I need to ask her out. I got her number that night. I'm in love with Tiffany. I need to shoot my shot. And you're like, yeah, it's whatever. And I'm like, no, Eric, you don't understand. Tiffany's the most beautiful person in the world. And you're like, yeah, she's kind of cute. And then I'm like, okay, well, I have I have a big project to work on right now. So, I'll probably ask out Tiffany a month from now, and, we can go on a date, but I can't do it right now because I'm so busy at work. And then you text me and say, oh, by the way, I asked out Tiffany. We're going on a date later. And I'm like, Eric, how could you? She was mine. And you go, no, she wasn't mine. I agreed with you that she was attractive that day at the bar, so therefore she was, it was fair game for both of us. That's how I feel. That is the level of betrayal.
First
Attention,
off,
traitor.
That's a
your
crazy
privileges
metaphor.
Have been revoked.
My what privileges?
Nothing.
No, say it again.
I said, it's a FNAF meme. I said, attention, traitors, your admin privileges have been revoked.
Yeah, that's right. Stew in your... It's not weebness. I don't know. America weebness.
I will say,
weeb.
What I thought you were going to bring up is that you knew about, the reason you were able to tell me, yeah, it's the Horse Girl show, is because, you knew about it. Because while this was, it was very niche in America, but, weebs knew about the show. It's a couple years old. Yeah. It's very popular in Japan. It's obviously heard of, right?
Yes.
It's not like I'm the first person in America. I'm bringing it back. It's not like it's a new spice from the Orient that I'm, bringing to America. It's people knew about it beforehand. It just is now incredibly popular. I missed it by a week. So I'm not saying that you didn't, that I discovered it, because obviously you knew about it, but I obsessed over it. It was my thing.
You obsessed over the figures.
I was in love with the idea of it.
That's also true. I think it was also just less weird for me because I know about and have watched in some cases, what's it called? Fate, the Fate series, where it's what if King Arthur was an anime girl? What if Ishtar, the god, was an anime girl? And they have other people. I forget, they give them titles, so they don't always, remembering the names is a bit hard. But they also do that for, battleships and airplanes and anything. Yeah. So I was just watch, this is another category of thing that is girl.
For my fourth channel, I guess this is my fourth channel. For one of my other channels, my Chris Chan content, I had to watch Hyperdimension Neptunia, which is a show where video game consoles are girls.
Yes.
So, the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo Wii are sisters or something. And then, the PS3 is something, they're anime girls.
Yes.
So, I understand the genre. I understand the concept. But these are real horses, Eric.
Well, those are real consoles and battleships and airplanes. And
Okay, but
historical
now
figures in some cases.
you have started feeding us these horse facts in our group chat.
Yes. Well,
So tell the nice folks some of these horse facts. The things, like, my excitement over the franchise was the
Yeah.
idea of discovering these horse facts, of
Okay.
hearing things like, oh, did you know that, like, this anime girl is based on this real horse that, like,
Uh-huh.
broke its leg and got shot out back? Like, that's the kind of thing that I'm...
You monster.
That's the kind of thing that, like, I want to discover. And you just start spamming us with the very information that I was looking forward to finding.
Well, to go back to your crazy metaphor from before, which was also still based on real life, it was your work-life balance, man. You prioritized work so much, you forgot to live life. And that's what happened. That's what took the wind from your sail.
The jockey from my horse.
The jockey from your horse. So if you just want some horse facts, there's a horse called Goldship, who's very temperamental, but like the almost like peak horse, like incredible in every physical aspect of horse, except has a mental capacity and is like, if I don't want to run, I'm not gonna run. And this makes for such a crazy narrative of horse, and then also horse girl from the show. It's hilarious. There's
like the character, they give the character like a mental block about running because the real horse was hard to tame.
No, so in the show, the Goldship and all their names transfer over. Sometimes they give them like nicknames. So like Goldship's nickname is Golshi. So you don't ever get like a ton of spotlight on Golshi in the show, at least from what I've watched. So it'll, she just run. She, that's the other thing. How do I talk about these horses? What pronouns? Is it a he because it's a real life he, or is it a she because it's a fake she? Anyway, narrative she. So in the show, Goldship just runs, and they do get to a point where they're like, I've just been having a hard time controlling my emotions, and like they still have to enter a gate. So I'm having trouble getting in the gate, or like, because Goldship does have a certain amount of like mental prowess, which I will back up in a second, everyone will be training super hard, and then Goldship is just playing with a Rubik's Cube or making a house of cards. Literally anything outside of training, like during a montage or whatever. Goldship is just like doing trivia, mind games, just goofing off. And still wins. Because Goldship the horse was just a legend among legends. That's how I'm going it down in my brain.
So you're saying that a real horse had real
Yes.
horse attributes.
Yes.
And because this is... Listen.
Okay.
The reason this is the greatest concept of all time. And again, I've not watched the show. For all I know, the show's terrible. For all I know, the show's incredible. I honestly don't care at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The reason this is one of the greatest concepts of all time is because the idea of, like, a sports anime is something that already exists. There's a lot of popular ones. There's the soccer one, there's the volleyball one. That's all the examples I have, and I don't even know what they're called. But a sports anime, or even just a sports movie or a sports TV show, is something that has a certain formula to it, right?
Right.
This is now I'm going to say a racing or a track anime.
Yes.
So it's a sports story about the sport of racing, which is already then another layer on top of it. It's like, oh, there's so much drama. There's like literally like the trope that people like if you're making fun of something, you'll be like, oh no, but the big race is tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah.
So like the the storytelling potential of like just a bunch of girls playing high school track and racing lends itself to a lot of interesting storytelling and characters and endearing characters and growth and potential and stuff like that, it could already be a great story. Then you add on top of that the third layer, and the third layer is that they're horses. So now you can have plot points about the fact that they're horses. For example, in the first episode, because I watched the first episode and that's it, the main character girl is watching the races. So not everyone in this world is a horse girl. Only people who are reincarnated horses from the real world are horse girls. So there's also humans.
Yeah.
And this guy comes up behind her and starts rubbing her calves. And it's like, wow, you have really like strong legs. And she like kicks him and calls him a pervert. And it's because, you know, to her, he's just like feeling her up. But the joke that you then learn at the end of the episode is that he's a horse trainer. And so to him, he's like treating her the way that you would treat like a show dog or a racehorse, to be like, oh, wow, you're really powerful because you're a horse. And it's like, wow, that is an element of the narrative that like your pre-expectations based on these being two people are subverted because of the fact that one of them is actually a horse. And so I hope that they continue to do that with the show and that like it's really funny. Like, I don't know, maybe they can get addicted to hay or something. I don't know. Either way, whether or not they actually do that in the show, it's something that the concept lends itself to.
Yeah.
And then, also, in fact, I'm spiking the mic. They're real horses. Meaning you can tell drama from real-world events.
Art
about these real
life.
Horses. No, it's just Art is Life. It's now a biopic about a real horse, but it's an anime girl in high school.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. I mean, did you not watch the Air Bud movies? Those were based off real life events.
No, they weren't. You can't gaslight me about my horsies.
I like the show. It's very compelling.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm angry to hear it as well.
Well, you know. I think it's a good show. I think the horse layer does add a thing, right? Because if you're just watching it engrossed and you're like following along with the plot and the story and the drama and you're like, whoa, this is actually like pretty good. And you're just in it for that. And then you remember the horse facts of like, you know, they're based off real horses. So then you like go on to Google or something like Special Week's career and you like can see like, okay, so they omitted this part, they included this part, this actually happened in their career. I wonder how that'll come up. It does make it just an extra layer of like funny haha. But I am on the side of the stables that even if this wasn't based off real horses, which, I mean, you know, that would change a lot about it. But let's say they still somehow kept the story and the drama and the plot lines. Incredible show. And maybe it's because I'm a little biased because I used to be a runner. But man, it hits you in the feels. The heart. The carrot.
Do you want to tell them some of the other horse facts?
So Goldship was seen... He's retired. The real horse, Goldship, is retired after racing for quite a while, I think. Like 6 years. And he is running faster and better in retirement than he has in any of his races. Like, he's setting new personal bests for himself, which has led to the conclusion this horse never fully tried in a race. Because for horses, horse racing is a very intense sport. Like, if a horse performs at its best every race available, it just breaks down their body like crazy, like, you know, kind of any sport would. And Goldship has no issues since hitting retirement, but is doing better. So the only conclusion is he just never tried fully all the time. And he just figured out work-life balance as a horse.
Oh my god.
And this is incredible. Goldship also knew what cameras are, / knows what cameras are. And you might think, that's a little weird. How can you prove that? And, maybe you can't. However, there are multiple pictures of Goldship making what are objectively silly faces that a horse would not normally make, like sticking his tongue out to the side, way out here, striking poses, to the point where people are like, he knows what a camera is. He understands, at the very least, the concept that, like, people are looking at him with a camera. And so he poses for them. And this is so true, at least, or at least backed up. He went to one of the big international races in France, and, before a race starts, the horses have to walk out. The spectators get to see, like, oh, this is, Silent Suzuka, this is Goldship, etc. And they, walk around a little bit and then get lined up into the gate. Goldship, when he was brought out into this international crowd, and there's stadiums and, people can just, they're seated, on top of the track, more or less. Goldship broke the, etiquette, the path you're supposed to follow, went up right next to the bleachers and stands, and did a little trot so all of the international spectators could get up close and see him, and his jockey was trying to pull him back to the route that they were supposed to walk the entire time, and did not have the strength to turn Goldship because he was so focused on getting attention from all these other people that were now cheering him on. Incredible. There's a little video of him chasing a butterfly. It heals my soul. A lot of the things I know are about Goldship.
So, like I said, this show about anime girls has interested people in real horses, in real horse racing, to the point where you now know you didn't care at all about real horses a month ago. You couldn't care less about horse racing or Gold Shower or any of this butterfly nonsense. And the fact, I said it on purpose. I'm going to keep going. The fact that you now know all these facts about him means that the propaganda from the show has worked.
Yes, 100%.
Which is impressive and good and interesting.
I think it's... Okay, here's what I will say to that. One of the things I'm curious to see is if this is just getting its 15 minutes of fame, and after, a month or two, people move on to the next... I don't know. There's a show about mice girls. I don't know. Right? And it'll just whatever. No one will care. Because I think it's very easy to get someone's attention, but to hold someone's attention is, a different thing, So I'm curious, yeah, sure, I know these Goldship facts now, and I'm drinking a little bit of the sauce.
Drinking a little bit of the Golden Shower.
Drinking a little... Devin, no. Drinking a little bit of the carrot juice. You can't keep saying that. I don't think you know what it means.
Oh, sorry. I keep mixing up Goldship and rice shower. Yeah, sorry. Complete accident.
Anyway, that is my curiosity of in
Curious
2
about
months'
the gold
time.
Shower, and that led you to watching these girls.
No, Devin, please. If
From a horse, Eric? From a horse?
Stop it. If the general people will be still interested in horses and horse girls and horse racing, etc.
It's been popular in Japan for years.
Yes.
This has been big in Japan for years. I don't think it's just going to go away. Especially now that it has an international market, I'm guessing the brand's going to see a huge...
for sure. And it's...
income spike, and they'll be like, oh, we got to fast track, the, season 4, and we got to, make a real video game for consoles, and we got to do blah, 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 blah.
We were in Japan. We saw a real video game for the Nintendo Switch.
That was on Switch or whatever. It's not real.
That's a real console.
I know. I mean, I talk about, I don't know... I'm imagining like a persona.
A persona of horse girls.
You're the new horse girl in town. You got to run around the high school and like do these fetch quests.
You gotta become friends with them. Okay, I see it.
And
I
then
see the
at
vision.
the end of the week, depending on who you became friends with and what tasks you did to level up your stats or whatever, you do the race.
Mm-hmm.
And then that impacts your next week and things like that. You got to become the champion.
I'll give you another horse fact. I'm gonna butcher their name a little. There's a horse named Haru.
Butchering the horses now?
That's mean. Stop that.
Straight to the glue factory, Eric?
So there's a horse that in real life is a girl horse, so no issues there. And this horse lost every single race it's ever competed in without even being close, as far as I know, to winning. Her official record is 0-113. And her story got so, and as we've been saying, like, a lot of people got introduced to this horse and her record and her story, and like the horse girl from the show, hits on certain notes of like, I love to run, but I keep losing, but I'm used to that, but like, what are these feelings? Like, why am I still frustrated after all these losses? Stuff like that. She has become, like, I would say the secondary mascot of the show / game, because people are just so moved by her story, because we all know failure and all that. To the point where, this horse is in retirement. A lot of these horses that they picked from the show and games, I believe, are mostly based around, like, the 90s and aughts. So, the owner of Haru set up I don't know, a forum, a way, kind of like a GoFundMe, of, like, there's a special type of grass that, like, race horses that win get, but it's, like, super expensive. And she got, like, so many people chipped in and donated to get Haru this, like, special grass that's only meant for winners because it's so expensive, like a metric ton of it, I think. And the owners were just so grateful and like, wow, we're so happy this horse and her story has, like, touched the hearts of so many people. And then they thought, you know what? Why not? They entered Haru into a retirement race, which was a race dedicated for only retired horses, just kind of for fun, but like, I think it's still official. I don't know exactly how it works. And she won. She got first place. Her record is now 1-113, and after, I think she's like 16 or something. And in retirement, and after touching the hearts of so many people, she's finally won a race. And everyone cried together.
You know what made me cry?
When you couldn't make the video you wanted because you made
betrayal from my co-host. Next thing I know, I'm gonna be asked to be the best man at you and Tiffany's wedding, and I'm gonna have to stare at the empty sheet for where I'm writing my script, my speech script, and have to be like, I remember when I first met Eric and Tiffany and how I thought about what they would be like as a couple, and now I'm going to have to lie. I'm going to have to not talk about my raging, roiling jealousy about the fact that I introduced you. It was my horsehair. I mean, it was my... it was my girl at the bar,
how
Eric.
You really feel.
That should be my gold shower, Eric. The fact that this is how things have turned out means that I can't even look at you anymore. In fact, I can't talk to you anymore. I think it's over.
He's gone! He left! anyone curious, the video game, mobile game came out first, and then it was 3 seasons of a show, then a spin-off show, and then a movie. Goodbye, everybody.